The government needs to look at its spending, and because of that, the cabinet is becoming very concerned about value for money. On Wednesday at the post-retreat news conference, the Prime Minister revealed that the cabinet was unhappy with the management of the National Academies for the Performing Arts. Soyini Gray reports.
We have taken a decision at the level of the cabinet to provide management to NAPA and SAPA based on the Queen's Hall model.
That's Dr. Keith Rowley addressing the media at the post-retreat press conference at the Diplomatic Center on Wednesday. He says both NAPA and SAPA need a management system that will be able to promote the venues as performance spaces and provide regular maintenance of the properties. As for the Queen's Hall model the Prime Minister is referring to, the Queen's Hall Act lays down the management of the performing space. Queen's Hall has a board that's appointed by the Minister, and they are responsible for the administration, control, and maintenance of the hall. It is therefore the established body corporate. Both National Academies of the Performing Arts are managed by general managers. Another area of concern for the Prime Minister is the belief in certain sectors that nothing was being done with regards to the renovation of the 5 historical buildings in the capital city under the management of the Restoration Committee. That, he says, couldn't be further from the truth.
We are inviting proposals from the business community to operate that hotel, and we are hoping that we get positive responses. So the board that we're going to put in place for NAPA would be responsible for the whole arrangement there. And in the south, another board, a different board, but with similar responsibilities on the same Queen's Hall model, will take responsibility for SAPA. We are very concerned about maintenance of these facilities and full and maximum use for national benefit. As you all are aware, before I go off, we are approaching the completion of the renovation of Stollmeyer Castle, which is one of the magnificent 7 buildings which falls under the committee which I chair.
Cabinet is still to determine what they will do with Stollmeyer's Castle once the restoration is complete. But works on the other buildings continue apace. The engineering assessment for Millefleurs has finished, which means the next phase of its restoration can begin. The preliminary works for President's House are also complete, and the interior has been cleaned out to facilitate reconstruction. Likewise, similar works for Whitehall and the Red House. The Prime Minister says the works for these buildings are tedious and time-consuming, but one can expect to see tenders in the media for the specialist skills that these types of renovations require.
The tender packages are ready, and of course you would have seen for the Parliament a number of packages which have begun to be advertised. The last one I saw was the woodwork and the roofing of the Parliament.
And speaking of tenders, expect to see a request for proposal for the property in St. Clair that houses the Ministry of Agriculture. The ministry is going to be moving to Chaguanas soon, and Cabinet thinks that the property should be turned into a hotel.
So if that site could attract private sector investment or partnership with the government, we will see what proposals we have. And we do have some proposals. I understand that there were some responses to the invitation, and we're putting a committee in place.
ETEC's chair, Imtiaz Ahmed, will chair the committee that will review those proposals. ETEC is responsible for managing the government's hotels, including the Trinidad Hilton and the Magdalena Grand. Soyini Gray, CNews.